And we're back with another episode of Elsamplerpod. Today we're going to talk about Mandalorian and our predictions for episode 8, and talk a little bit about what happened in episode 7, so we can kind of have a base about what's going to happen there. So, my opinion, that was the best episode we've seen all season. There's a lot of stuff that happened. I think they crammed too much stuff into one episode, but I enjoyed it. To me, it was very good, and we didn't have randomly Jack Black or Lizzo. Here. So, but anyways, peaches. Oh, bro, we're gonna get copyrighted, bro. My bad. Hey, he should have sang that on the damn episode. That would have been a way better thing to do. Mando. Yeah. Instead of him trying to be like this, what is a king or something like that. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, no, that doesn't fly. But anyways, this episode was very interesting. I mean, we had obviously it was called Spies. We did talk. We did already see TK2755, which is Gideon's lackey, talking to Gideon again. So he's back. So he's fully back into the fray.
And by the way, that's one of the spies.
Yeah. The one that used to be in the amnesty program or whatever it was. Yeah. But we know that she was working with him. But anyways, so we know he's there. They talk to the Shadow Council, which is kind of interesting, because here we could see kind of like the beginning of what the First Order is going to be, because we even have Hux's dad there, which is kind of interesting too. It's kind of a little Easter egg, which is cool. And then obviously he wants to take over. Gideon wants to take over. So kind of fast forwarding a little bit into that. Oh, by the way, that Star Destroyer with the Mando logo, it was a big waste of time, but it looked awesome. I loved it.
The Starship.
Yeah. That had the Mando logo?
Yeah. Bro, I just wonder how long did it fucking take for them to draw that.
I was thinking the same thing, but I'm like,
draw it so perfectly. I'm like,
the biggest stencil in history.
Bro, like you do realize that you had to draw that and then back up like a mile away just to see if you messed up.
Hey, I think it's when you're about to finish, it's a little crooked. Just scratch it off. Just start all over. No. Hell no.
Repaint it.
Yeah, but anyways, I did like that we had Baby Yoda going into IG 12 now. Yes. No.
That was cute.
That was awesome.
That was cute, yeah.
You had that little Babu Frig guy. He's like, bad baby. Awesome. Like that whole interaction between those two.
Somebody tried to say that he said that thing, whatever, what is it called?
It's an Anzellan. That's
okay. So that little thing,
the little monkey looking.
Yeah. Like that. Apparently, there's a video going around that it might have said a bad word. Like saying
yes,
mother effer, and it's. I have to rewatch it because I
watched it and it sounds like it. It does sound like it.
It wouldn't be. I mean, like it wouldn't be the first time that apparently it has happened like that.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean.
But it would be. It would be awesome though, because it was like
I'm gonna have to go back and then rewatch it just to be like, oh, it did say it sounded like that.
Yeah, it almost sounds like it. I don't know if it's just me because I saw the meme. Yeah. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, because whenever you see something and then it's like they pointed it out, you kind of like your brain works weird ways. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was good. So the cool thing is that Baby Yoda now he can actually join in the battle. He can do stuff. He's not just there, dead weight almost to a certain extent. Now he can actually do some stuff. Which cool thing, he did stop the two Mandos from fighting, which was good. Where you had your boy Paz Vizsla, where he almost wanted to bash that guy's face in, but Baby Yoda didn't let him.
Bro,
so that's cool.
He was actually winning that fight.
He was gonna win. I mean, come on.
He was giving that dude the hands,
Paz Vizsla,
bro. Like compared to the other guy, and I have a feeling, bro. Like my theory is that he's the other spy. I feel like there's 3 spies. It was obviously the one that was talking to Moff Gideon at the beginning. But I have a feeling that it's this douchebag and then also the armor.
Yeah, the armor, and actually,
She's suspect.
she's one of the ones that.
She's
and she's
always
one of the
been
ones
suspect, though.
The thing is, from day one, I knew that she was suspect just because she has the 4 little horns, just like in that picture. Remember, I showed you with that she was part of the Mandalorians or whatever it was. So we know that, and she was part of Death Watch, and she kind of confirmed when she was talking with the other guys, and she's like, "Oh yeah, Death Watch is it's not there anymore. They kind of got split up or whatever it is." But she's basically admitting that. And then the other thing is interesting.
So Death Watch is what exactly?
Death Watch is basically a faction within the Mandalorians. They're the ones that actually went to the moon of Concordia, the moon that they were at, whatever. That's where all the Death Watch people came. That's why, like for example, when Din went to actual Mandalore, he didn't know a lot about Mandalore because he didn't live in Mandalore. He lived in that moon in Concordia.
So then, Death Watch was. Why did they call it Death Watch? Do you know?
Death Watch because they wanted to. They
were watching the death.
No, because basically they wanted to go back to how they used to be, right? Violent and all that stuff. Which Bo-Katan was part of that. Bo-Katan was part of Death Watch too. And then you had Satine, which was her sister. She was the actual ruler of Mandalore, but she was a pacifist, and that's why they were almost banished to a certain extent from Mandalore
because they were too ruthless.
Yeah, they were too ruthless, and then obviously the whole thing happens with Maul and all that extra stuff, and then eventually Bo-Katan doesn't, because she didn't want to have anything to do with the whole Darth Maul situation. She's like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah.
So that's where she kind of did her own thing, and then she started the Night Owls and whatnot. But but I've always been suspicious of the Armorer. First of all, then she sends these people to go. She, for whatever reason, she was the one that got everybody together for all effective purposes. Then Gideon magically knows where she's at. Right? These guys in the pirate ship, which I was expecting Jack Sparrow to pop up any second now. And I'm like, yeah, Jack Sparrow's a suspect too. I don't care. Yeah. But that was suspect too, because it's like, yeah, why are you showing up here? It was kind of odd.
Like randomly, especially whenever like they just randomly didn't see the Mando's N1 ship. Like, come on, bro.
Well, and then the other thing is when the shit's about to hit the fan, right? Mm-hmm. She bounces with the guys that are injured or sick.
Yeah, suspect.
Yeah, super suspect. So I would be shocked if she's not. I mean, it could be. What if she's like a pure Mandalorian, whatever it is, and she actually was trying to do the right thing all along? Huh?
Or she read into the future like Doctor Strange.
No. That could happen, but in the Ahsoka series, that's a whole nother ballgame. But anyways, so I do think that she's definitely suspect. The other thing about it, I don't know if you noticed, but Moff Gideon's helmet also had 4 horns.
Yes.
So, and this is probably the biggest, my biggest theory or biggest prediction, that I think he is a Mandalorian. That he's been a Mandalorian for a long time. He just joined the Empire because he almost had no choice, or because they already left the way, or whatever it is. And I think he's going to be from Death Watch. I think that him and the Armorer actually fought side by side with Darth Maul.
That would be cool. However,
that's what I think will happen.
I don't see him as a Mandalorian, but maybe. I don't know.
But why?
I don't know. It's just something about it.
Like, I mean, nothing really makes you a Mandalorian other than because it's not like, oh yeah, they're a certain race or they're certain this. They're all different. Yeah, but that's the thing. That's why he went away, because they didn't believe in the way at that point. So then in this case, it almost makes sense. And I'm not saying that the Armorer from day one was a spy or had anything to do with him, but maybe it got to a point where she's like, wait a minute, I got to look out for my people. And maybe that was the way of either looking out for her people or looking out for herself. One of the two. And then all of a sudden Bo-Katan comes in, that kind of throws a monkey wrench into everything. It's like, all right, cool. So now what? Yeah. Now what? So that was kind of interesting. The other thing is that to them, apparently the Darksaber isn't super, super important. So I'm not kind of to the people that follow the way.
Okay.
Now, the one thing that the most important thing for them is the mythosaur. Yeah, and I see Bo-Katan using the mythosaur to defeat Gideon, and then everybody will have to quote unquote bow down to her, as we saw Din, because I know some people, like you were telling me that, oh, the Mandalorian seems like it's going to be about her. I don't necessarily think it's going to be about her, the main protagonist.
Grogu.
No, it could be Grogu would make sense. It could be just they're talking about Mandalorian and as if it was plural, which could be a thing. But more than likely it is about Din. But he doesn't necessarily have to be the leader of the Mandalorians to be called the Mandalorian. I mean, in that case, yeah, he could just be another guy. But the story's about him.
The most important guy, the coolest dude, the dopest outfit, and the dopest sidekick. Or son, technically. Come on, man.
Yeah.
What?
Now, the one thing is, I know you're probably going to talk about him, but in that battle, because they have this whole battle where Din unfortunately gets captured, but we have to R.I.P. to the big man.
Paz
Vizsla, bro.
Moment of silence.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, but that was my favorite Mandalorian. Like I loved it, bro. He was awesome.
I low-key hated him at first, and then I started to like him.
No, bro. And then he went out of the blaze of glory. Like how many of those guys? How many of those dark troopers did he take out, bro?
20 people.
Bro, he's like there, and you can just see the gun almost melting, and he's just like, I don't care. And then afterwards, he's like, all right, let's go, come on. And he was just beating the crap out. Yeah,
until the three, what's it called?
The Praetorian Guards. Yeah. The
so,
Praetorian Guards.
So what makes them different compared to anybody else? It's just they're like super ultimate fighters or something like that?
What, the Praetorian Guards?
Yeah, or is it the sword?
Okay, no, that's one of their weapons, but if they're basically kind of like the continuation of the Royal Guard in the prequel and sequel trilogies, and the prequel and the original trilogies. They are force sensitive, so they could be force sensitive. They're kind of like the Inquisitors are, I guess, where they're force sensitive and they know how to use the Force, but they're not to that level yet. They're not necessarily going to be Sith or Jedi for that matter. They're kind of like in that middle ground where they're better than almost anybody else fighting, but they're not going to be a Sith or anything like that. So they're normally the protectors of like the Emperor or Snoke or somebody like that. Like those are the only people that have access to that type of guard.
Okay.
So yeah. So it's they're like OP. Like they're almost.
But they can die.
Yeah, they can die. Actually, Rey and Kylo Ren took out like 7 of them. But obviously they're Jedi.
Yeah.
So they're on a different level altogether.
Okay. Yes, okay.
So yes, but he still put up a fight, man. Like, and you could tell. I can guarantee if he would have been fresh in the battle, I can guarantee he would have at least taken one of those out. At least one of them out.
At least if it was him and Mando, it probably would have been. They probably would have taken all 3 of them out.
Yeah, but then they would have had to kill Mando because they wouldn't be able to beat all 3 of them. That's the only thing. I think they would have been able to take one of them out, but not all 3. That's just
what?
It's way too much. Yeah, it's way too much.
In fact,
you could have put
Then Djarin.
No, you could have put them two, Boba Fett and Bo-Katan, which technically is the best fighter of all of them. It's not going to happen. It's going to take a little bit longer, but it's not going to happen. They're still going to die.
I feel like it would have happened. I don't know. Come on, man. I have hope.
I don't. but I thought that was cool. I did like that he went out in a blaze of glory. He did what he had to do, and he let everybody go. And yeah, he went out like a complete badass. How do you think the show's gonna end? What do you think anybody else is gonna show up? Because I do have one person that to me has to come back, and there's a reason why.
The only person that I would imagine will be coming back will be Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Her. So that like that they can set up for the new show and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Luke Skywalker is going to be coming back. But
No, I don't think so either.
so they leaked. It got leaked the time frame for the finale, and it's actually like 37 minutes or something like that for the whole episode. So what I have a feeling, I don't like. We were thinking that, oh my God, Mando's gonna die. I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think somebody else may die. Who knows? Maybe Bo-Katan Kryze dies. You imagine?
Could be.
You know what I mean?
I mean, some people have said that could happen.
I don't
Now,
think.
what I think.
I don't think Grogu would die.
No, bro.
Come
too much
on.
money. Hey, bro. Most of our shows are about wrestling, and we know about.
And realistically, you
Somebody
kill
sells
this
merch.
man. You kill this man. Like, you throwing money away, bro.
It's over. It's over. but anyways, I think that I honestly don't think that Luke is coming back. I would bet $100 easy. I do think that Ahsoka has to come back because we do need a Jedi. Why? Because the Dark Troopers and as well as what's his face? I forgot his name. All of a sudden, Gideon. Their armor is made out of Beskar.
Yeah.
So it's resistant to
Beskar.
It's resistant to lightsabers.
Beskar is kind of like,
Almost adamantium kind of deal.
yeah, but adamantium you can't find it anywhere. All like that.
Yeah, like vibranium.
It's like vibranium. Yeah. It's more like
Yeah.
vibranium. Okay.
Yeah, kind of like that.
It's pretty much the
So,
same
yeah.
because you're making it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of so that's why they need her, because in the end of the day we know that she won't be able to just use a lightsaber to just whack him upside the head or something like that and slash him like Luke did with the other Dark Troopers, with the level 2 Dark Troopers. But we know that you can still hurt people. Like you saw the Praetorian Guard when they killed Paz Vizsla.
Yeah, but they did it through their gaps.
through the seams, which made sense. I was like, you know what, that was good. That was a good little detail there, kind of letting you know that it's not just an incredible world or whatever it is. Yeah, fine, and that worked. So I do think that she's coming back. Oh, by the way, one thing about Moff Gideon's armor is that he has that heart in the middle too.
I never
The part that joins both chest plates,
Okay.
kind of in the middle. The only people that have that are Mandalorians. That's why I'm saying I think he is a Mandalorian.
I never noticed that.
I think he is, yeah. So then, I honestly think what's going to happen is there's two ways we could go. Either Thrawn gets rid of Gideon, which could happen, or we could have Bo-Katan get rid of Gideon using the Mythosaur, which I would see that more likely, and I think it would be a better part of the story if you want to do that. And then Ahsoka just deals with the other people.
I don't
And then
know,
you have
bro. Like the Star Wars universe is kind of weird. Like, all jokes aside, like you have some dude that literally doesn't have any superpowers, or it's not Jedi or Sith or whatever, and then he's just like whooping up on everybody. Like
who are you talking about? Like Gideon?
well,
or-
Moff Gideon. Then you got what's the other dude's name? Kron? What is it?
No, Thrawn, yeah.
Thrawn. Like the dude, they neither of them have superpowers. Like realistically, it's like they're just dudes.
No, well, but it doesn't matter because remember, Gideon's not really fighting anybody. He's just the mastermind behind things, as well as you have
I know.
Thrawn,
It's
which
just-
he's just
There-
a military mastermind.
It just
He's kinda
seems like
the
there's
guy
a lot of
behind it.
people that are pulling strings. And,
Yes, and that's what it is.
And realistically, none of them can actually do anything besides pull.
Well,
the
they
strings.
can. Remember, the whole thing right now is obviously it's about the rise of the First Order.
No, I get
that's
it.
what
I get
they-
it. It's just
yeah.
the only reason why I'm saying that is because a lot of people.
It's more realistic than the Marvel stuff. Not everybody has to have a superpower.
Yeah. But I
Oh.
get that. Like I was gonna mention, like it's not like some people are saying like, oh, like Thrawn is a Thanos level threat, and like realistically, like I don't think he is, just because Thanos literally gave the hands to all three Avengers, bro. Like single-handedly by himself gave the hands
The
to
thing
Captain
about
America,
it-
Thor, and Iron Man, bro. Come on.
Yeah, but obviously it's a different thing because Thanos is the one actually going out there and fighting. Thrawn would be more about the guy sitting in the office pressing buttons. He's the guy with the plan.
Yeah.
He's the guy that sends the guy that are going to fight. So it's a different type of vibe. It's kind of like Palpatine, even though Palpatine is one of the most powerful guys, but his biggest superpower was more about controlling everybody and having everybody think it's one thing when it's complete opposite. You know, he's being the good guy during the day, and then at night he has all these plans and schemes and stuff like that, and he pitted people against each other. In fact, his plan was so brilliant that he was the one in charge of both wars, of both sides of the war. That's brilliant. So, and that's where they're trying to go with this. Like the whole Jedi thing and whatever, it is a big part of it, and the powers are important, but it's not the most important thing about Star Wars. Like, yeah, the Force is extremely important, but the story as a whole is the most important part. But yeah, but who do you think kicks the bucket this time around in this next episode? Who do you think is gone? If you had to bet,
I'm gonna go with Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't think Mando's gonna die.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so either.
I
don't think it's gonna be him.
I mean, Gideon, but like realistically, I mean, yes, I can see Gideon dying. I can see both of them dying, but like they're talking about like, oh, people are gonna get hurt by this finale, and I think that's somebody that we have been watching and like kind of like been on their side for most of the seasons. Or
but who
whatever.
said that? Who said that about we're gonna? Was it Filoni or who said that?
I think so. It was in some interview. I can't remember.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
yeah, because that's the thing too. Like a lot of people will attribute, something to certain people.
Yeah. So like I don't know if maybe it's just like bullshit. You know what I mean? Because sometimes they just like to throw people off.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? But like I don't know. I'll say Bo-Katan just because like yes, people like her and things like that, but she's not the main character. But this season kind of felt like she was the main character. You know what I mean? It just...
Yeah. It's almost like Boba Fett where Mando was the main character to a certain extent. Too.
Yeah, like I loved and hated this series. I loved all the action scenes and everything that had to do with Mando. I just didn't like the fact that some of the episodes, Mando and Grogu were literally second fiddles. And it's like...
Yeah, well, and that part did bother me a little bit, but I just didn't like the filler. Like there was a lot of episodes that really nothing happened. It almost felt like WWE booking Bray Wyatt. Like nothing. A lot of special effects and stuff, but the story really didn't move forward. Like if you told me the season started with this episode, I'd be all in. I would have told you this would have been an amazing season.
Like the episode, for example, the Jack Black and Lizzo episode. That literally, we got fucking nothing out of that episode. Like realistically, it was.
I don't know why.
I just thought it was like a side mission. You know what I mean? Like you're like scrolling through, and the game tells you, hey, you have to do the side mission because it's part of the game. So then, like that, they try to keep you away from the main path, just to get you more playing time in the game. And literally, that's what it felt like.
Well, but it's fine because that's how they've been running the Mandalorian the last couple of years. There's always a side mission, right? It's like the adventure of the week, and that's what made it cool. But this adventure, the whole robot thing, and then all of a sudden it seemed like it was Scooby-Doo. Because also Christopher Lloyd, the guy that was in charge, it's called like Hellbender or something like that, which the name alone should have told you that the guy was going to be evil or something. But it's like, oh yeah, they took the mask off. Oh, we knew it was you all along. Seemed like Scooby-Doo, bro. Like it's just terrible.
Then the episode
like,
with the
it
chick,
looked awesome though.
With the chick, yeah, with the chick killing the doctor.
Well, she didn't kill him.
I mean, brainwashing
out.
him. Brainwashing.
Yeah,
him.
brainwashing.
That was
like, cool, but you know what? I think
why did it have to be 35 minutes?
I don't have a problem with it being 35 minutes. What they should have probably done, instead of just doing that, they should have done like other series, like for example, Andor. Andor's a show that I don't know you haven't watched it, but it's you could tell that the way it was shot and everything was very, very high level. Because they'll talk about one character and all of a sudden they'll jump to another scene about somebody else. And then they'll jump to another scene about somebody else and they'll go back to the first one. If you would have had that same story with the doctor on 3 different episodes, right? But just little pieces here and there, that would have worked because it would have meshed in the story and you would have been a lot more engaged instead of just like, why are we watching this guy eating space ice cream?
It's like, we don't give a shit about this dude.
like, I don't care. And I understand he is going to be
watch Mando the first 10 minutes of the fucking show.
Yeah, like he's interested. His job is important, but you don't have to give me this whole thing. And if you're gonna do it, break it up into parts and intertwine it with the other episodes. Like all of a sudden, you could have Mando going into battle, and all of a sudden, boom, you cut to the doctor. Oh, it's happening to him. All right, cool. Then you go another scene. Boom, Bo-Katan is underwater or whatever it is. All right, then the next one. Boom, Mando's back. He's back in the plane or whatever it is. Like there's ways to do it where it could work, where you can tell the same story in the same amount of time. You just got to edit it a little bit better.
I think they literally could have started that whole series. I mean, that whole episode with them running away from the security robots at the train yard.
Yeah, that was it.
And then jumping off and then getting the equipment, blah, blah, blah. And then she brainwashing him. Like, it would have been like, yo, why? They were just working together. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like, everybody would have known, like, oh, wait, weren't they with Moff Gideon's ship? You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. There's so many other ways they could have done it, but they just decided to do this long episode, and then that's it. And then the episodes that... Oh?
You know who I think had the idea of making that episode like that?
Who?
Kathleen.
I knew you were going to say that. Man, come on now. You have a poster of her in your room. You know that.
I don't like her, bro. I don't like her at all.
Well, I don't have a reason to necessarily not like her because I don't know exactly what happens behind the scenes. But all I know is that I would leave Lucasfilm in the hands of Jon Favreau. Why? Because he knows what he's doing, and he seems like he actually loves it. Like he does feel for it. I think he's going to take care of it, which is what Star Wars needs. Star Wars is not Marvel. Marvel's something, Ant-Man and all these other people, and it's great and everything, but it's a very different story. Yeah. Like it's not something that you could just randomly pull people out, and that's why some of the other films failed miserably, and that's why Mandalorian worked because you had Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau work on it. People that actually are fans and that enjoy the series and want to take care of it and don't care what anybody else says. They're going to try to push their own vision, what they do think that should be done. But anyways, but I think to me I think that you will have one of the good guys die. I don't know who. I mean, it could be Bo, or it could be Bo. Bo dies trying to take care of Gideon, and both of them go out, like a sacrifice type deal.
Yeah,
which could be the case, kind of like what Paz did. Which could be the case, or it could be she's taking out the armor, something like that. It could happen.
The sword goes savage and then kills everybody.
Yeah, but definitely, I see Moff Gideon. He's the one that I don't think is going to make it out of this whole thing because he almost can't. Because we know he doesn't take care. He's not in charge of the First Order. He's nowhere to be seen whenever you have the newer movies. So he's.
I think it will be cool if the person that kills Moff Gideon is not even Mandalorian. It will be Thrawn.
Could happen.
It will be like the easiest kill. Like he just killed him like super easy and things like that, just to be like, show like, yo, he is badass as hell. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, and the good thing is, it doesn't even have to do it physically. He just has to send somebody out there to get rid of him, or do something that's going to just trap him and
correct.
Done. But yeah, but I definitely I am. If I had to bet $100, I would say that Gideon's not going to make it out of the whole show. But I do think that Mando makes it, Baby Yoda makes it. It's going to be a great show. So
you're going to be paying me then.
I'm betting you. Well, we're basically agreeing on the same thing. There's nothing to pay. But anyways, all right, man. So anything else you have to talk about Mandalorian before we see the last episode of the season?
Just say if Mando or Grogu dies, I'm not watching the rest of the seasons.
I'll watch it, but I'm not going to feel the same way. I may watch it 3 or 4 days later. Just because.
I'm not even going to be hyped about it. I'm like, nah, bro. I'm canceling this.
That is true. But anyways. All right, cool, man. So as always, just remember to like, subscribe, watch her other videos. Peace.